Hello. This is the Vietnam Social News Update for October 15, 2025. Date of news coverage: October 15, 2025. Politics. Vietnam's ruling Communist Party is preparing for a pivotal shift ahead of its next Congress, and several key developments are unfolding this week. Draft documents for the upcoming 14th National Party Congress have been released for public consultation from October 15 to November 15. These include a political report by the 13th Central Committee, a summary of 4 decades of Doi Moi renovation policy, and proposals to amend the party charter. The drafts emphasize a more central role for the private sector, alongside maintaining state leadership over strategic sectors. In parallel, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh made a keynote speech at the 20th Party Congress of Thanh Hoa Province, urging the province to accelerate implementation of central resolutions and local action plans in the 2025 to 2030 term. The premier stressed that provincial authorities must interpret and execute national strategy with urgency and coordination across sectors. Meanwhile, in Hanoi, the 18th Congress of the Hanoi Party Committee convened from October 15th to 17th, with delegates keen to see continued momentum in anti-corruption, public service efficiency, and social welfare. Underlying these formal activities is a sense of urgency in institutional reform. The ambitious administrative reorganization plan remains underway, aiming to eliminate the district level and slash the number of provinces and communes to streamline governance. This sweeping change demands constitutional and legal updates, and is controversial in some quarters for its potential impact on local representation and implementation capacity. Economy. Now let's move to the economy. A major economic headline today. The party's draft roadmap envisions annual growth of at least 10% for the 2026 to 2030 period, a striking rise from the current 6.5 to 7.0% target. The document also sets a goal to double GDP per capita to roughly $8,500 by 2030. To support this, authorities plan higher public investment and a larger budget deficit, up to 5% of GDP, while relying on prudent debt management and sustained macro stability. Already, 2025 is shaping up to be a strong year. The government's official estimates now suggest socio-economic targets may not only be met but exceeded, with GDP likely reaching around 8%. Despite sharp declines in export segments like footwear and textiles caused by U.S. tariffs, growth in electronics, chemicals, and higher-value exports are helping carry momentum. HCM City is emerging as a hotspot. In the first 9 months of 2025, it pulled in nearly $7.73 billion in foreign direct investment, over 3 times the amount from the same period last year. This surge is bolstered by dialogues planned between city authorities and U.S., European, and Japanese firms to clarify and resolve investment bottlenecks. Still, challenges lie ahead. Rising trade tensions, supply chain disruptions, and climate risks will test resilience. To offset vulnerability in export-intensive sectors, Vietnam must accelerate structural shifts toward higher value-added production, skill development, and technological adoption. In this regard, Vietnam is also pushing to build a high-quality workforce in semiconductor and digital industries, targeting the training of 50,000 professionals by 2030. Society and culture. Next, in society and culture, Vietnam continues to grapple with severe weather impacts from Typhoon Matmo, which hit northern and north-central provinces earlier this month. Heavy rains, flooding, dam breaches, and landslides cost the country billions of dong in damages, displacing thousands and testing local disaster preparedness. Recovery and infrastructure rebuilding remain urgent priorities, especially in flood-prone border and mountain provinces. Culturally, Vietnam is intensifying its outward communication. The newly launched English-language media channel, Vietnam Today, is expanding coverage to amplify Vietnam's global image, showcasing economic, political, and social narratives that go beyond clichés. This media push dovetails with efforts during recent provincial congresses to emphasize people's happiness, integrity, and service as new benchmarks of governance in capital and local units alike. On tourism and heritage, Phong Nha-Ke Bang National Park earned double honors in the 2025 World Travel Awards, elevating its international profile. Meanwhile, Vietnam actively promoted the Vietnam Francophonie Economic Forum, drawing French-speaking nations into deeper cultural and trade linkages. These efforts reflect Vietnam's ambition to position itself not just as a production hub, but as a cultural bridge in the global South. International relations. Finally, in international relations, Vietnam's foreign policy is proving more agile than rigid. General Secretary To Lum's recent visit to Pyongyang, his first high-level trip to North Korea in nearly 2 decades, resulted in cooperation agreements in defense, foreign affairs, and health sectors. Though details were sparse, the visit underscores Vietnam's interest in diversifying its diplomatic open lanes beyond traditional partners. At the same time, public attitudes toward China are subtly shifting, especially among younger Vietnamese. Influenced by social media, slogans, and curated cultural content, some segments are adopting a more positive view of China, softening prior perceptions of menace. This perceptual shift, carefully managed by state media, gives Hanoi more space to pursue infrastructure projects near China and resume controversial ventures that were previously politically constrained. Elsewhere, Vietnam is strengthening strategic ties with the U.S. and Europe. Energy cooperation with the U.S. is gaining traction, as Vietnam seeks to secure clean power investment. And European firms are expressing stronger investment confidence, reflecting in recent high BCI Business Confidence Index readings. Italy and Vietnam have also pledged deeper cooperation in high-tech shipbuilding. As Vietnam readies for its upgraded status in global capital indices, it is positioning itself as a reliable, multilateral partner in trade, technology, and climate diplomacy. Thank you for listening to the Vietnam Social News Update. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you again tomorrow. This news summary is based on publicly available reports and rewritten uniquely for Vietnam Social News. VietnamNews.com is the official web address of Vietnam Social News. We are an independent platform, not affiliated with Vietnam News Agency or any government-owned media outlet.